What is up, guys? It's another guy, and this video is going to be a tier list video on Wizard 101 Weirdest Pets. Now, this is inspired by a commentator who asked for the tier list on the different pufferfish species. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what you meant, but I assume that it's you wanted Wizard 101 pufferfish pet tier list, and I could only find this and this. So and it's only two pets, so I decided to make a Wizard 101 weirdest pets video with pufferfish. Okay, so let's get it started now. This this alien piggle is actually the only moon pet in the game. As for what else makes alien piggle unique, that's about it. Like, the spells aren't really anything crazy to talk about. And the design is pretty solid. So I would say that this is either an A or an S. Honestly, I would put it S mainly because it's the only moon spell type pet in the game. So I feel like it deserves a solid S tier. Now this pet, C tier. Okay, because now this pet is called the Bunny Mallow, right? The Bunny Mallow isn't anything crazy. Like, as for design aspect, this pet I would give like a B tier. The pet isn't too spectacular on the design aspect, but in terms of what it is and it's like its creativity, I would put it like a solid C tier, nothing too crazy. Now this, D tier. Now, I know you might be thinking, why D tier? It's a kick with a mouth, and yeah, that's pretty unique, but it reminds me of like a mimic pet. I would definitely put this guy higher. But when you compare this guy to all of the other unique pets in here, I feel like, as in a design aspect, this guy is definitely like C or D. But in terms of what it actually is, it's nothing too special. It's pretty okay. Now, this also S tier. But let me give you one reason why, right? When you think about something that's unique, it's something that's like standalone by itself, nothing like it, right? Try to describe this animal with another animal. Like for real. You could describe this as like an alien pig. You could describe this as like, what's it called? You could describe this as a bunny. You could just call this a mimic. You can't call this anything. What could you actually compare this to? You can't. The very fact that you can't compare this to makes it unique by itself. But not only that, but its design spectacular. Honestly, one of my favorite pet designs in all of this game. And you might call me out for being biased, but hey, this is a tier list after all. If a tier list isn't biased, is it really a tier list? Now, for our first pufferfish, A tier. Yeah, it's a pufferfish. It's a pufferfish. Yeah, cool. But the very fact that, but I would say that this guy has a pretty solid design. I would say that this guy has a pretty solid design, pretty great color scheming. They didn't over design it, but at the same time they didn't under. They didn't. I feel like if it were to add anything to this pet, it would be too much. I'd say this guy pretty unique. Now, this guy also A tier, even above the pufferfish. Now, this guy this guy is supposed to basically be like this guy is basically supposed to be like a zombie parrot type. The color scheme extremely good. They did a well job with the green on orange. Design aspect, it has that creepiness, but you could still see what it's supposed to be. It's like, even though there's no pirate hat, no eye patch, no nothing like that, you could still tell the very fact that it is supposed to be like a zombie pirate bird. And I feel like that by itself shows how great the KI team is at actually. This by itself actually shows how great the KI team is at designing pets. Now, This guy, honestly, I know I talked a lot. I know I said a lot of things about this, this kick guy for being unique, but at the same time kind of bland compared to the others. But honestly, I will put this rock B tier. Now, before you start booing at me, the reason why this is so funny is because if you didn't know, during the Great Depression, there was a guy who started selling rocks to people and actually made money off of it. So literally, this rock is actually a pet in real life, which is hilarious on its own. But not only that, but like, okay, this rock supposed to be a meme. Like, you're not supposed to take this rock seriously. It's just supposed to be like a funny haha joke, which is the reason why I like this rock. Was the reason why I like it so much. As for this pufferfish, I feel like this pufferfish is pretty like, it's between A and S. I mean, it's between A and B. Now, the reason why I don't want to put it B is because its design is pretty unique, pretty funny. Like, it's pretty great overall. But I don't feel like it's good enough to become A tier. Because when you compare it to these guys, you look at this and you see like a cool fish with great color scheming. You look at this and you see a zombie pirate bird. But like, if you were to pick between all of these guys, if you were to buy any of these guys at the crown shop, I would definitely put this guy right here. Because literally, if you were to buy any of these guys, I would go for this guy, then this guy, then I would buy this guy, then I would buy this guy as a joke, then I would buy all of these other guys, and one of my favorite pets right here. This guy was released during the crimes. This guy was released during a train gauntlet. I don't remember the exact gauntlet was called. I think it's called like the Sky Train heist. This guy, I would definitely put A tier in terms of design. Very unique, very inspired, I would say that this design is pretty dang unique, and definitely buy this guy or get this guy. As for this guy, honestly, I feel like I would put him C or B tier. Honestly, I think C tier is fair, because now the reason why I won't put this guy in B tier is because when you look at all these B tier guys, you understand what they're supposed to be. This guy is supposed to be like a pack pufferfish trying to help you. This guy, is just supposed to be a funny meme. This guy is like, it's like a road running pet. Like, when I imagine having this guy, I imagine having this guy, I imagine him herding animals into a farm. Like, I can see purpose in having these. I can see why you would want to get all of these guys, Like, and when you look at all these guys, you could see how well their design was. When you look at this guy, his design was pretty meh. Like, he has a cool robe, and a wand, and you could kind of see the face of a bear, but that's about it. This guy doesn't really have any features or any qualities. It's like just supposed to be like a very small wizard bear, which is, it's alright, but it doesn't really stand out compared to all of these other guys. And that's it. So, what do you guys think of my tier list? What would you place in these different tier lists? I will try to make more tier list videos, and drop down in the comments what other tier list video do you want to see? What other type of video do you want to see? And as for that commenter, did I do this correctly? Is this what you wanted, or did you want like an actual real life pufferfish species tier list? Tell me, let me know down in the comments, and yeah, it's another guy, right? It's another guy talking about pets.